Hello, this is Cooper's Family, Part 13. You see, John Pranks is having a hard time when a mentally disturbed man who thinks he's Leonardo da Vinci refuses to accept he needs medication. And while John saying that he is sick and needs to be looked after, this man said that he has to go to Rome, Italy for an art exhibition. You see, Leonardo da Vinci's latest paintings being hung there. But this was just a delusion. Apparently they've been calling him to go to the art exhibition anyway. And John tries to inform him that he should go on Epilim to keep him sane. But then he told John, "Have you ever been mentally ill, cunt?" And John said, "No." And then he said, "Well, then you don't know how it fucking feels." And John gave him a thorough examination and then said, "Okay, but if you change your mind, come straight to the Cooper's Family Hospital, okay?" And Ron was in the middle of a gallstones operation on a 57-year-old man named Terry Kingsley. And Terry isn't going to last very long. You see, he doesn't like the idea of keeping fit. The only moving he does is around his house, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, and helping Ron was Sally and David. And today it was Sue's turn to go to the mental health drop-in centre to give booster shots to each mental health consumer. And while Sue was there, she was speaking to a homeless man who is just there for the company. He loves to tell funny porcupine jokes. And Sue then, after their interesting conversation, brought him in to give him a booster shot. And when she finished there, she really felt sorry for that man to live on the streets with no warm home at night. So she said he wishes he had shelter, but the government won't allow me a home, he said. And so what I can do about it, and the man who runs the local pub, sipping a very strong alcoholic beverage, because that it could be off. And then he had a heart attack and fell over and hit his head on the beer tap. And the people in the club rang the Cooper's Family Hospital, and David Cooper came right away to check this out and declared him dead at about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And then David rang up the Occupational Health and Safety branch to check if this bar was safe to keep open, because that was weird. And then a lady walked in ready to start her shift for the day, and David said, "You can go home. You see, the manager of this club just died." And she said, "Really? You look so healthy." And we're closing this club until the Occupational Health and Safety officer comes to check the place out. And Ron finished the operation and then went to the office to wait for the anaesthetic to wear off. And David brought in the dead bar manager, and Ron said, "You mean he's dead? He was as healthy as a fit athlete. Why we have to do an autopsy, because this is hard to believe, and he is now dead. I don't care what the customers said. We need an autopsy straight away, just to make sure exactly how he died." And then Ron wanted to call the police to organising the occupational health and safety check at the pub. And the policeman, who is Jack Cooper, Ron Cooper's father, is thinking of retiring from the force because he is getting too old for fighting crime in Melbourne. And Ron asked, "How many days have you got?" And Jack said, "Today's me last day. And there is a new guy starting tomorrow, and his name is Robin Tate. And Ron said, "Have you met him?" And Jack said, "No." But he passed police school very well, and Robin was heading to the Cooper's family clinic to get a doctor whilst in Melbourne to give him his medical records. And much to his surprise, it was John. John and Robin were best mates at school. They saw concerts together and played footy in the park, and each other, and sat at the shops drinking Coca-Colas and many more together. And John got a big shock, saying, "Fuck off, cunt! I haven't seen you for a very long time. And how's it hanging, old dude?" And Robert told John that he is starting in his new job in the police force. And John said, "Well, I'll be. Give me your finger and call me Pinky." And then an occupational health and safety officer checked out the pub and then closed it for the week. And we will be back next week. And then Ron gave his stockbroker a ring to see if the Cooper's family can buy the rights of the bar, because if he did own it himself, the family can keep giving the club the thorough going over. And then said this to Sally, and Sally said, "It's a big responsibility to run a hospital and a bar and a clinic. Are you sure you have done your sums? Are you sure you're ready to do all this about this?" And the bar has shonky owners, and Ron signed the check, and the hospital and Robin Tate was called in to sign the liquor license part of the form. And Robin talked to Ron about a lot of things, including saying he knows John Prank. And then they left the bar, and they can't wait to start business next week. And that was another episode of The Coopers. Okay, bye.